All right, good morning. Good Monday morning, everyone. It's a great time here, the Sports Beat Podcast. Just getting our Monday morning started here. Hope everybody got a good start of the week. Hope you had your coffee. That's vitally important for everything you're trying to do because, hey, it's coffee. You got to have it. I haven't had mine cards on the table, so I do ask that you guys bear with me as we get ready to do this live and get things moving here. Just kind of making sure we are all good to go on all of our platforms. So just please bear with me for 1 second here. Thank you. Come on today. Okay. So for this live today, we're going to be talking about winners and losers from NFL Week 10 so far, in parentheses, because the Vikings haven't played the Bears yet, but I'm already counting the Vikings are going to be losers of that game for many multiple reasons, and they're going to be players that are going to be associated with that as we go along too as well. So no worries, we'll get into all that in just a second. But before we do, we make sure wanted to say for all of you that watch us on YouTube, make sure to subscribe down below, leave us a like and a comment. Let us know what you're doing Monday morning, or where you're watching from, or just what's going on in your world. So yeah, just let us know. Anywho, let's get started. There was a lot of great games this week. I really was excited to see. I'm at work, so I have a luxury of having like 12 different TVs while I'm working. Don't worry, that doesn't distract me. But there was a lot of great games. There was just an absolute bomb from Kyler Murray to Nuke Hopkins. He was obviously the number one winner for this list, but we'll get into a lot of other winners. But if we miss any, make sure to leave them down in the comment section. Let us know, hey, if we did in fact miss any, and what and your opinion of it. Also, yeah. With that, let's get started. Nuke Hopkins and Kyler Murray is our first winner of the week. If you want to talk about one of the greatest Hail Mary catches and throws of all time, this is in the conversation. Not only did Kyler Murray just know that, okay, Nuke's got to be up there somewhere, and just laid it out for DeAndre Hopkins, and it was fabulous. It's been a while, maybe since the Minneapolis Miracle, since I've seen a play like that. Because I mean, when you think about it, those end of game situations, the DBs are taught to hit the ball down, don't let it get behind you, type of deal. But when you have a wide receiver like DeAndre Hopkins, who just time and time again shows that he is worth every penny that you paid in the offseason, and also he's just a number one wide receiver. I mean, it's just absolutely fantastic. One of the craziest catches for a great guy that honestly you couldn't have asked anything else more. So caught a great pass, also made a heck of a play too. Nothing but butterflies after watching that catch, because that was truly amazing. Also, I really got to, and again, I also have to reiterate Kyler Murray for MVP. That's that's episode 60. The main, the point of it. That's the one thing here. This does nothing but help his case for MVP, especially going out and getting that win. So, I mean, I know that there's a lot of great players out there that are having great seasons, but Justin Herbert has his team playing at an all-time. Excuse me, not Justin Herbert. That's also for another video. Kyler Murray has his team playing at an great level right now. Beat a great Bills team. So yeah, that honestly that just does nothing but help his case right now, and just takes care of business. So absolutely great. I really loved what I saw from the Cardinals. They're a legitimate team. I think I would almost take them over the Seahawks right now, and it's not even close. I think that they're just a great team, and I'm really excited for what the rest of this NFL season will bring for Kyler Murray. Okay. Josh Jacobs had possibly, I can't talk today, I apologize, had possibly one of the better games of his career now. Josh Jacobs is also kind of, he's awesome. He's a great running back. But it's also the fact that Josh Jacobs has continually put the running game of the Raiders on his back and taken it with him wherever he's gone. He's a great player, a great running back. And honestly, I would expect nothing less, especially against a team from the Raiders. But also, I mean, I know that the Broncos are a little injury depleted, but at the end of the day, when you got a guy like Josh Jacobs who has 700 yards on the season and 8 touchdowns, you just give him the football. I mean, it's that simple. But still, you got to be able to give props to a man when he goes out there and just absolutely balls, and that's exactly what the man did. Over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day in the Raiders' 37-12 win over the Broncos. And I mean, Drew Lock had a rough day, a touchdown and 4 interceptions. Excuse me. Josh Jacobs 21 for 112 and 2. Devonta Booker also had a good day, 16 for 81 and a touchdown. Yeah, I think overall this was just a great. I mean, Josh Jacobs went out there and took care of business, and I was absolutely excited to see that because I mean, honestly. And also Devonta Booker also used to play for the Broncos, so that's tough. But great game by Josh Jacobs. Absolutely loving to see it, and I think it's It's very, very it's very, very interesting when you consider the fact that the Raiders, they don't just have a couple of good wide receivers. They don't just have Derek Carr. They've got a couple of good running backs that can shoulder the load too. So, yeah, it was absolutely great if you ask me. And I'm really excited for what this will bring. Our next winner on this list, Tua Tagovailoa. He's 3-0 as a starter. I didn't even know that, but 3-0 as a starter. He has completed almost 64% of his passes, 5 touchdowns, no picks, over 500 yards passing. And the latest win, now keep in mind, it's not like he's beating some chump change teams. He's beating some good teams. Let's see, he's got a win against the Rams. That's incredible in itself. But his defense against the Chargers is kind of meh. But it's also the fact that, hey, they went up there and got the win. So we'll also get to Justin Herbert here in a second. That's why I had him in the back of my mind. I'm sorry, guys. But right now, he's absolutely playing out of his mind. Tua is, and 15 of 25 for 169, 2 touchdowns. Not like MVP style numbers, but very, very respectable numbers, to say the least. And I think that it's also kind of interesting when you consider the fact that he didn't start right away. A lot of hatred came from him for what the Dolphins did to Fitzmagic. I was kind of one of them. What happened with how that went down? But hey, the man's 3-0 as a starter, and the Dolphins are on a roll. Like, I just can't believe what's going on right now, because if you would have told me at the beginning of the season, I've done this a couple times. If you would have told me that the Bears would have started out 5-1, I would have said you were nuts. But if you would have told me that the Dolphins would have started out 6-3, I would have asked what you were on so I could have some as well. Anywho, yeah, just absolutely great to see what Tua is doing right now. He's taking care of business, and he's doing his thing. So thanks, Josh Miller, for watching. Thanks, Mr. Long, for the like. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Josh's comment. I'm sorry, it's not showing up for me, big guy. I'm trying to look for it. My Wi-Fi is also a little bit slow this morning. I feel like there is a lot more winners I could do here, but I mean, these are just the main ones that stood out to me. So I've got to really preface this by saying that it's a little late to preface it when it's like 7 minutes late into the video, right? Yeah. Anywho, no, I was really excited to see what I saw from Tua. I think that it was incredible to see what this guy's already done, despite the haters, despite the injury, everything. He's just doing great things, and it's been great. Biggest loser is Drew Lock. Get that man out of Denver. Come on, you guys were singing his praises a week ago. I mean, you can have ups and downs, especially especially with a young quarterback like that. I don't think it's time for him to get out of Denver yet. It was a rough game, though. I will let you guys know about that. But moving forward here. He's actually on my losers list, but I'll get more into that later. Justin Herbert. God, I love this guy. This guy is amazing. I can't honestly say that I have seen a more promising rookie quarterback in a long time. Obviously, yes, we've seen some good quarterbacks like Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes. Okay, yes, got it. That's a slam dunk, easy. But a guy that's completed that went 20 for 32, 187. I'm not doing the math this morning. I'm sorry, guys. 20 for 32, 187 yards, 2 teddies and a pick. Also ran one in. So, I mean, this guy's just from top to bottom. He's leading this team. I saw an interesting stat that the Chargers are one of the only teams, other than the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers, that have lost a game by 7 points or less. If you get one more weapon for Justin Herbert, or you make one more play on defense, this team is vastly better. It's a playoff team. And it's so shameful, because this team is actually way better than it's showing right now. Don't let the 2-7 record fool you. This is a good football team it's close. It's very, very close. It's stacked from top to bottom. I talk about more about that in our another video that's going out later, I believe today. Justin Herbert versus Joe Burrow, and the reasons that I outlined that I would take Justin Herbert over Joe Burrow. I know it's nuts, but bear with me. But no, Justin Herbert's been playing out of his mind right now, and I think it's incredible, because when you consider the fact that I would take Joe Burrow's supporting cast over Justin Herbert's in a heartbeat. I mean, when you think about the fact that this man, he's got Keenan Allen, Mike Williams aren't nothing to gawk at, but I mean, Joe Burrow has Joe Mixon, he's got Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, AJ Green, and even though Justin Herbert's offensive line is better, but I would take Joe Burrow's supporting staff over Justin Herbert's any day. And the fact that Justin Herbert is doing what he is with his staff, I'm not taking a slouch like Keenan Allen, who's one of the greatest wide receivers in the league, or Mike Williams. Again, Hunter Henry's also nothing to slouch at. But it's just very interesting to me to see how Justin Herbert is doing this while this early in his NFL career. And it's absolutely, I think it's awesome. I'm really excited to see what this guy will continue to bring and what he'll do for the Chargers. Those are my winners for this week. I probably missed a couple. And let me know who I missed, because I think Jameis Winston is going to get the line and start, because I feel like because it just showed out that Drew Brees is injured, going to be injured for a little bit. But now we're going to go into our losers. Losers. If you haven't watched Ace Ventura, what are you doing? Get out there and take care of business. Watch Ace Ventura. Just get to it. Winners and losers. Can I go full team here and just say the Baltimore Ravens? I mean, the Patriots, I got to admit, Bill Belichick is one of the greatest defensive coaches of all time, and also one of the greatest head coaches of all time. So for this guy to come out and get a big win, and I said it on the podcast, episode 60, go check it out. The Patriots were a team that had to win an NFL Week 10 because they just had to. They had to go out and take care of business. Lamar Jackson finished the night 24 of 34, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. It was raining out. I understand that. But when you can't take care of a team that is reeling, that's rough. That's rough, especially when you consider I considered when I still consider the Ravens one of the best teams in the AFC, and they still couldn't take care of business. Lamar Jackson, once again, 24 of 34, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. He also had 11 carries for 55 yards. Willie Snead had a good day, 5 carries, catches for 64 yards and 2 touchdowns. Excuse me. Let's see here. Matt Judon had a sack. That was a pretty sick sack on Cam Newton too, even though the Patriots right tackle mainly is a guard, but whatever. Cam Newton, 13 of 17, 118 yards and a touchdown. Damien Harris, he is a guy you're going to want to pick up in fantasy right now. Do it right now, because this guy is he's going to be coming. He's been injured, but it's time. This boy is going to come out and just start trucking people. He's a good running back. He ran like there was no tomorrow last night. You got to love him. You got to love him. He's going to go out and do great things. But there's a couple of losers from the Baltimore Ravens, and for me, it's Lamar Jackson. You go against a quality team in the Patriots, even though the record, they're 3-5, but they've still got a good defense. They've still got one of the best coaches of all time. You can't get it done when you are severely. You're not. There is no pressure. Excuse me, on the Baltimore Ravens right now, but there's a ton of pressure on the Patriots, especially the fact they had to go and get a tough win against a tough team, and they did that. So right now, a major loser for me is Lamar Jackson. I was expecting a little bit more out of him, and was hoping that they were going to come away with a win, because hey, that's what the NFL is about. Anyway, next loser on the list, Russell Wilson. I never truly thought it would be a while until I saw that or said that. Excuse me, because to come out and lose to the Rams 23-16, and now in that division things are getting pretty even. This is a tough loss. Not only that, Russell Wilson went 22 of 37 for 240 yards and 2 interceptions. No touchdowns, by the way. Didn't run for one or pass for one. I mean, that's rough. I mean, this team is way better than it showed yesterday. DK Metcalf was mostly absent. Even though he got a big pass interference call against Jalen Ramsey late in the game. But other than that, 2 catches for 28 yards, my man. Jamal Adams, though, he's a man. Oh, I love Jamal Adams. You love playing with a guy like Jamal Adams because he just brings it. You just love it. But Jared Goff still 27 of 37 for 302 yards. Malcolm Brown had a couple touchdowns, as did Darrell Henderson. But Russell Wilson's a big loser this week. You're a playoff team, and you can't get it done against the Rams, who are a good team in themselves. But for being in the NFL MVP conversation and to come out and have the game against the Rams, you're better than that. We expect more from you, but still love you, but expect more from you. Sorry. My next loser here, Drew Lock. I don't think. Again, I say this out of nothing but love because I feel like Drew Lock is getting hated on a little bit. Again, it's a tough week for them, but at the same time, you've got to be able to show a little bit of compassion. Drew Lock is in every bit of the word. He's a great player and a great kid. I think he's going to come out and do great things for the Broncos. But I mean, the Broncos are missing most of their defensive players now, or at least a couple of good ones. Game changers, to say the very least. They're 3-6. They're lost against a good team in the Raiders, who find themselves at 6-3. And I mean, Drew Lock, 23 of 47 for 257 yards, a touchdown, and 4 picks. It was rough. I'm not going to lie to you. It was rough to watch him go out there and struggle like that. But I don't think it's any reason to panic. But he's a loser for this week. I think he's got to come back better next week in order for the Broncos to have to kind of build up this. I don't think the Broncos are clearly going to make the playoffs, but they're getting better and better every week. And it's one of those things where it's got to happen. Something's got to give, and I think it will eventually. Next loser. Sorry. I just had come on, pull up here. Come on, there we go. I think, in my opinion, the next loser actually is the Tennessee Titans a little bit here. Now, I'm going to kind of go through here and just kind of go through it. Ryan Tannehill, 15 to 27 for 147 yards and a touchdown. Derrick Henry had over 100 yards, yes, but they lost big time against the Colts. I mean, it was just a rough game. This team is a playoff team, mildly inconsistent, and they just can't seem to really get going, like get the ball rolling and continue winning. This team is it's so inconsistent, and it's almost it's weird to watch. Naheem Hines picked him up on fantasy, had 2 touchdowns, had 115 yards. I believe that's 115 yards on 17 total touches. Phillip Rivers, 29 of 39, 308 yards and a touchdown. Fantastic week for the Colts, who just seem to figure it out. You got one of the best defenses in the NFL. This is truly a great team, a team that's fun to watch. So, major loser is the entire team of the Titans. There was a couple of bright spots, i.e., Derrick Henry, Corey Davis had an okay day, 5 catches for 67 yards. AJ Brown, still love me some AJ Brown. I'm not going to talk nothing about him, but this team's going to come out and find a way to get back on track and just continue to find that consistency, because it's been rough. It has been absolutely rough for this team. But again, I've got absolutely nothing but love for them. Derrick Henry, obviously one of the only bright spots of that team. But at the same time, it's rough because when you're that good of a player and your team is that inconsistent, it's tough. So, but I do expect them to figure it out. No worries, they will. They'll get their stuff together, especially as they head in towards the playoffs. And I think the Titans are a team you could find in the AFC Championship game again. I really do think that. Next loser. This was a game that it was tight. It was tighter than it should have been. It's the Green Bay Packers. They're not the entire losers here, but I'm gonna kind of put as Aaron Jones as kind of a loser. 13 carries for 46 yards. Jacksonville Jaguars defense isn't like what it used to be back in 2017. Aaron Rodgers, 24 of 34 for 325 yards, 2 teddies, and a pick. Also ran one in. This MVC, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, had a good day. This offense is churning right now. I know they shut down Aaron Jones. It's probably not fair to me to put him as a loser here, but at one point when you're considered one of the best running backs in the NFL and to come out and run the ball 13 times for 46 yards, come on, my man. Also caught 5 passes, though, so kind of made up for it. A total of, 95 yards on the day. But at the same time that the Packers didn't distribute the ball pretty well, Aaron Rodgers did his thing. Devontae Adams had 8 catches for 66 yards and a touchdown. So I will say Aaron Jones was a loser for this week just because of the amount of impact that he usually has. And the Jacksonville Jaguars nearly made him non-existent. So that is what that is. But also shocked to see that the Browns almost lost to the Texans. Like, the Texans are not having a great season. If the Browns, since they're a playoff team, they got to find a way to win, especially by more than 3 points. Come on, it's the Texans. There. I'm sorry. As good as a team that they are, it's still kind of rough to see because the Texans are not as bad as you think they are, but at the same time, when you're a playoff team like the Browns, you've got to find a way to come out and win that game, and they just did not do it. But at the end of the day, it's whatever. I do have to say, Danny Dimes, what's he like 4-0 against the Washington football team? He's a 1-0 against 116 against every other team in the NFL. Carson Wentz, is it time to bench Carson Wentz? I probably have to put that video up later today. Because it's been a little rough for him. Miles Sanders, 15 carries, 85 yards. Boston Scott, 3 for 63 and a teddy. Corey Clement also had a touchdown on a 5-yard carry. Danny Dimes, 21-28, 244 yards. Had a rushing touchdown, had a 300-yard day. Well, Wayne Gallman, I had him a couple years ago in fantasy, but then they drafted Saquon, and they had Saquon, excuse me, and it was pointless to have him around. So I got rid of Wayne and kept Saquon, and now Wayne's got 2 touchdowns yesterday, and also had a good day. Just overall, great player. Had 60 total yards, 2 touchdowns. Loser, yeah, it's the Philadelphia Eagles here. I think that at the end of the day, when your quarterback Carson Wentz is drafted number 2 overall, and you're wondering if you should bench him for a second-year player for a second-round player you just drafted, I don't know. The Eagles are kind of a loser in this situation. Carson Wentz is mainly the biggest loser here for me. I don't know what he has to figure out here, but he's still a great quarterback. I got nothing but love for the man, but they've got to figure some stuff out with him and see what he can do. But those are my winners and losers from week 10 of the NFL. Let me know what you guys think. This is going to be interesting tonight. I think we could have some more winners and losers from tonight's game, but we'll definitely cover that tomorrow if there are in fact a lot of losers. But let me know what you guys think. Those of you that watch us on YouTube, make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Also leave a comment in the comment section. Let us know where you're watching from. Have a great day. Have a great Monday. Let's take care of business. Let's have a good one.